Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 27 of the PT Footy podcast. No Brian here tonight, but we still got Kevin and Sam.
Yeah. Hello,
Hey
everybody.
everybody. How's
All
everybody
right,
doing out there?
all right, yeah. Hope everybody's doing okay. Had a very heated conversation earlier today. Kevin, Brian, me, everybody getting a little bit after each other because we're getting
It's
to the nitty
private.
gritty. Yeah, refs. We're gonna talk a lot of stuff today. But we're gonna start with Sporting, and we're actually gonna start with a game that I did not watch, because you guys know I was out watching the Star Wars movie. Sporting played Setúbal away from home for the Taça. They won 1-0. So usual back four and Rui Patrício in goals, so no rotation there. So Rui Patrício, João Pereira, Rubem Semedo, Coates and Marvin, William Carvalho and Adrian midfield, Gelson, Bruno César, Dost and Joe Campbell. Sam, what did you think of the performance? What did you think of Campbell? That was rather impressive against Benfica.
Uh, Campbell was okay. Like I said before, he's much better as a impact player off the bench than starting. But it wasn't one of his worst games he's ever had. But in general, I thought it could have been better. But you know, 3 point, well, not 3 points in this case, but a win is a win. To go on to the next round, I thought Triguera, I believe his name is, the goalkeeper for Setúbal was beast. He was keeping shots out from everyone. Who
Mm-hmm.
I thought Gelson was my man of the match because he always is, never stops working, never gets tired. Uh, and on the Setúbal side, if you notice, we had two loanees, Ryan Gould and Gerald. Ryan Gould unfortunately got injured. Get well soon. But I think it wasn't that bad of an injury. Bastos scored the goal. Zegler with the assist. The Dutch connection happens again. And the performance, like I said, wasn't the best, but we got a win, and that's all that matters in the end.
Yeah, and you're through to play Chaves away from home. What do you think about that game? That's gonna be
Not,
tough.
yeah, especially away. If it was home, I would have a much more confidence about it. But it's a game we should still win at the end of the day. As we saw from this game, Jesus didn't rotate the lineup, which Beto apparently is getting fed up with not playing. Apparently moving to the MLS. So Beto, I believe we signed as a replacement for Patricio because if you saw in the news this summer that Patricio was going to go to Man City before they signed Claudio Bravo, but obviously that didn't end up happening. So Beto, feel a bit sorry for him just being a backup goalkeeper to Patricio because I've always liked Beto as a goalkeeper. So yeah, Beto obviously not happy that he didn't get a starting place. But is he really going to take over Patricio? Let's be real here. Rui Patricio has been our number one for a long time. I don't see that changing unless obviously he leaves. So yeah, that's my opinion on the game.
All right, all right. There really isn't much to talk about then because you just covered everything, and I didn't watch the games, so I can't, give out my opinion. But I heard there was like penalty missed or whatever,
The penalty miss. Hold on,
or
let me
a
just.
bad no call, something about that.
There
I heard there was
was
something about penalties.
there was two calls for penalty. One which was just Gelson goes down not in the penalty area on the box, which a lot of people thought should have been a foul, but the ref just waved play on. I wasn't really too worried about that because a free kick we don't ever score them. So I don't see anything in my notes here about penalty, but I could have missed something. I don't see anything about
Okay,
penalties here.
okay, because it's just something that I heard. Like I was glancing around at the time, waiting for the movie to start, and I saw something like penalty stuff, and I was like, "What?" So I just wanted to check with you. But if you say there's nothing, then there's nothing to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, moving on to the second game, and this one a lot more important. Uh, at home to Braga. Obviously, Wilson Eduardo with a goal. He seems to enjoy scoring against Sporting a lot. But same old lineup, but with Brian Ruiz in. for Bruno Cesar, but I'll give you the whole lineup anyway. So Rui Patrício in goal, João Pereira, Rubens Semedo, Coates and Marvin across the back, William Carvalho and Adrian Silva, Gelson, Campbell, Ruiz and Dost. Obviously, what did you think about the game?
First off, I've just looked for my notes again. I have seen there was a penalty to Sporting. I do apologise about that. I just had a complete mind blank. But Adrian took the penalty and Trigueros saved, and then also saved the rebound from Adrian. And so,
okay, there you go. So I was
as
right.
I was saying,
I was right.
Yeah, you were right. Fair enough. I do apologise.
That's all right.
But, if you didn't know, I covered both the games on the PT Footy
Yeah,
podcast
yeah,
account. So if you want to go follow the account and then me as well, that's up to you. But you can always do so. And the Braga game was a really sloppy performance from us. We should have played a lot better. Braga did capitalise on their chances, though. Wilson Eduardo scored. Patricio could have done better, but goalkeepers are bound to make mistakes, so I'm not too mad at Patricio for it. He has been a solid keeper for a long time. I did want to share my opinion with you guys, how Semedo was brought off at half-time for Douglas. I thought that was a really weird substitution, especially because Semedo didn't look like he was injured. Maybe there's something behind the scenes, but he looked fine to me. So I don't know what Jesus was doing there, taking Douglas on, because Semedo was fine. He didn't give away the ball.
I think he had a knock somewhere. You know that play where there's that foul on Wilson Eduardo that doesn't really get called when he goes through Coates and Semedo.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
So he pulled his calf or something, I think. So
maybe
I think that's what happened.
Right. And so looking at my notes here as well, that at the end we were all in the group chat talking about Mateus, the Braga goalkeeper, time wasting, going down
terrible.
at the 92nd minute. That obviously, but Sporting have done that as well. So, I guess karma sometimes goes against you.
He's bad anyway. He was a bad goalkeeper. I don't like him.
He kept us to 0 goals, so
yeah.
But that only gave him a
then
sloppy
again,
performance.
he didn't make a lot of saves.
George Jesus Brown, Andre a bit too late. Also, Brian Ruiz was obviously the last couple of months hasn't been himself lately. I think Andre should have came on at half time or maybe the 60th minute, something like that, before the goal. And also, I did put a poll on the podcast account as well, asking Sporting fans whose fault it was for the loss. I gave the options as the players, George Jesus, the referee. I just put that one just in case.
Because
and then I put other replied, and George Jesus actually won the poll. So a lot of people seem to think it was George Jesus' fault for losing. However, I disagree. But obviously, we all have opinions. I think the starting 11 should be capable enough to beat Braga. Braga's starting 11 isn't the best, although it is a respectable side. We should just be winning some games like this, and the ones we drew as well. That just shouldn't have happened. I know this team can win, and Jesus is picking the right team sometimes. Obviously, Markovic and Joel Campbell from the start. I know is well documented that I don't like both of those players starting, and Bruno Cesar obviously hasn't been the best player for us also. So I voted on the poll on my main account. I voted for the players, but 52% of the people out of 33 voted George Jesus, 24% for the players, 12% for the rest, and 12% for others. And but other reply I put, but no one replied to it in a different different opinion. So yeah. And also, before I end talking about Sporting Braga, there is news about Castaños apparently going to Leeds.
Oh yeah, Leeds. Yeah.
I believe it will start as a loan in January and then an option to buy, or it might just be a flat-out sale. But I've been told it was a loan, an option to buy, and that is good for us. Castaños is one of the worst players to ever wear a Sporting shirt, in my opinion. He hasn't scored a goal in over a year, and we have signed him for 2 million. I would even sign him for 200,000, let alone 2 million. Massive waste of money, in my opinion. But yeah, a 1-0 loss versus Braga isn't the best thing to happen. Obviously, no one wants their team to lose, but maybe it will be a wake-up call to the whole team, including the manager, the president, and just the players in general. Hopefully, we can turn it around.
Okay, I was going to plug this later, but what did you think about the fans going up talk shit, having a talk with JJ and from Carvalho, and guaranteed that they were going to be champions.
I don't see it happening, but obviously, as a manager and a president, you've got to be optimistic. You can't say, "Oh, we're not going to win," because it's obviously the fans are going to turn on you if you don't think you can win the title. But at this point, for me, it's not completely over, but it's really unlikely that we won't win the league. However, I hope it happens. I hope Benfica and Porto drop points and we gain points. So only time will
Yeah,
tell.
but it could backfire if it doesn't work as well. Because if you say, "Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna win," definitely, and then you don't win, and then it just makes the fans more angrier, I suppose. I mean, this shouldn't even happen in my opinion, but
Yeah, but on
I
the
mean, it
plus side,
happens. So.
what is he gonna say? "Oh, we're not gonna win the league." He has to say we're gonna win the league, even if it was Porto's president or Benfica's president. They have to say that exact statement.
I know, but why do we have to have the clock attend to you know the whole discussion?
Well, they
Why
deserve
can't
answers. The fans deserve answers, but to guarantee a championship is a reach there. I think that was a bad decision there to guarantee pretty much a championship. And realistically, it's most likely not going to happen. Anything could happen, but more like if you're a realistic person, like the chances of it are really slim.
yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know, I just wanted to bring it up. I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was weird.
Yeah, but like I said, in any league, if you know pretty much the three big teams in the league competing for the title, you have to be optimistic. But maybe saying, "Oh, we're definitely going to win," you could say, "I like our chances of winning." You don't have to clarify on that. So be like, "Oh," but now he's definitely said, "Oh, we're going to win."
Yeah,
He looks a bit, I guess, stupid when obviously when we all know that probably won't happen, but you never know. The odds aren't in our favour, but they weren't in Leicester's favour last year when they won the league. So who knows? Anything can happen in football.
all right, let's say JJ drops points tomorrow. Does he get sacked?
Honestly, I don't think so. But the only reason is because of that is because I don't think we could afford to sack him. Maybe he could step down because maybe he will realise that it's a failed experiment, really, and just step down. But I said this in the group chat as well. If we do win the Taça and we finish with third place, that's not the worst thing that could happen because it's a trophy at the end of the day. Like Marco
Still
Silva
a
did the
bad
same thing.
season.
Would you?
No, but you can't compare Taça to Taça the League. Nah.
True.
So it's still a winningless season with a coach that's earning like 7 million a year.
That is true. But a trophy in my eyes is a trophy. It doesn't matter what trophy it is, as long as you win. As long as you
Agreed.
win trophies.
I
It's
agree.
yeah.
Why sack Mark Silva when he won a trophy to bring on Jorge Jesus? Just
Because
fucking
at the
stupid.
time, George Jesus had how many championships Benfica? Not just leagues, just in general with Taças and
Still
all of that.
four. He had four, but still.
Exactly. You have to think about it. To bring a manager of that caliber into the team, obviously, me included, thought we were guaranteed for success, guaranteed for first place. But obviously, that wasn't the case. So at the time, like I said, maybe right now a failed experiment.
Okay. Yeah. Kevin, did you watch the game?
I saw the second half.
All right. What'd you think of it?
I think it was a little bit unfair that Sporting didn't come away with at least a draw, given the performance in the second half. I mean, the team was a little bit sloppy from the highlights that I saw from the first half, but they were pressing, a lot of bad passes. Uh, you know, geez, like I don't know what they can do about their striker situation because I don't think that Baz Doss is just gonna cut it. I think you need to find somebody who will be there to step in for him if he's having a bad day. He's been missing a couple of opportunities, and it happens to everybody. But against Benfica, he had that glorious chance that he just missed. Um, Luckily for him, he scored the header in the wide open net against Benfica. But you know, I think that Sporting needs to bring on some young wingers. They should have gave Manat a chance. They should have kept Yuri Madic.
I disagree. I thought Mane was awful in the last season.
Yeah, last
Like,
season. It's a new
Yeah, he
season.
was awful because he only played for like 3 games.
yeah, but in that 3 games he played awful. If you want to prove that you play well and you want to start in place, you can't be having those games.
Yeah, but how about you just come up and say, "Hey, Gaffer, I'd like to have some minutes," and then he goes like, "Yeah, sure, you can play against Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League." And,
True.
without any game time. So I don't think that favored Mane. So I do agree with Kevin because instead of wasting money with Campbell and Markovic, should have just kept Mane and Yuri.
Mhm.
Yuri, I
But
agree with because he had a good season last season. But like I said, Mane for me just wouldn't cut it in this team. I don't think he'd pretty much be in the same situation he would be last year. He'd just be either on the bench or on the reserves.
yeah,
So,
but he's a good fringe player.
like Joel Campbell is when he comes on, makes a good impact.
Exactly, but Joe Campbell has a name like he comes from Arsenal. The fans
Exactly.
expect big things out of him. They don't expect nothing from Mane. So he has lower expectations. So whenever he performs better, they go like, yeah, that kid played well. And when Campbell doesn't do shit, they go like, dude, this kid was a waste of money. Why are we paying his wages?
Yeah, but Mane also plays on the same side as Jolson, and Jolson obviously is having a breakout season. He's probably going to leave at the end of this one. I'm not sure if you saw a couple of weeks ago, Sporting introduced those made in Sporting banners at the top of the stadium.
God.
And Gelson Martins was already on one. These included the likes of Ronaldo, Quaresma. I was going to say Ronaldo, Quaresma, and Gelson is up there along with Adrian, William Carvalho, and Rui Patricio. So that puts a lot of pressure on Gelson, but obviously he's been paying off. He's been playing really well over the course of this season. I hope he can keep it up there.
Kevin, you want to continue?
Yeah, so I think that if they had given Mane a chance for the new season, I mean, look at Porto, for example, with Otavio. He didn't fit into the first squad, so he was loaned out to Guimarães. And typically, what happens with these players, uh, when they come back from their loan club, they don't really play as good as they did in the club before. So in this case with Otavio, it did work. Now, I think that Sporting should have just held on to uh, Mane and just given him a chance because it's a new season. You get a fresh start. Give the kid some minutes to play. See what he can do. I think that he deserves a lot more credit than what he's got. I think, like some fans have been like saying he's shit, whatever. But I don't think he's that bad. I think he's better than what they have now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that they should have given him a chance. Yuri Madedo should have never left. Is he there or did he get loaned out again?
He got loaned out. Boavista.
Jesus. Oh my God.
And it's a team that's not even playing good football. It's not going for the higher places in the league. So overall, I think that was a terrible decision.
It is because Boavista is not one of those top clubs. They could have at least loaned him back to Aroca or even a team like Vitória de Guimarães. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at least they play good football. Aroca is like on the downside, but they play good football.
Yeah. So I think a team that if you're gonna loan a player like Yuri out, he deserves to be on a top six team in the Portuguese league. Yeah, like Guimarães or even Braga, for example. Anything less than that, I mean, Aroca is acceptable because he knows the system there, and But I think that teams
they play good football. They play good football as well.
They do. They're a dangerous team. They're always that one team that you're unsure about when one of the big three play against them.
Yes.
So I think that they should have really loaned him out to a top club like Guimarães or Braga because that's where you really get developed. Why do you think Porto does it? Look at Otavio.
Yeah, I agree.
He's one of the starters, and look at Maraga, even Maraga, of all people. You know what I mean? So he's really finding his form there. I don't think he'll be back unless he continues his fine form. I'm sure he'll be back for preseason and see how that goes. But yeah, I think that was a bad decision to loan out both of those players.
Yeah, I agree. Especially, I remember a couple of years ago when Academica were a top side, not a top side, but uh, contending for the Europa League place, and we loaned Adrian
Hmm.
out to them, Joel Mario out to
Exactly.
them, and look how well that worked. Joel Mario is now playing for Inter Milan. Adrian Silva obviously still playing for Sporting, but he's a pivotal part in that team. So I agree with Kevin there.
Yeah, I think we all do, but I'm glad that you do as well. But I think it's key that these youngsters get given minutes because they're good, and I mean they're not any worse than Campo or Markovic. I mean Markovic is just I don't know. We're gonna
I really
set
wanted
that
to see
aside.
as well Mateusz Pereira start a game for
I was just
Sporting.
about to say that.
That's not gonna happen either. Well, where the hell is that guy? He just fell off the map.
Yeah, he's back in the B team. I'm fairly sure, but he's a really good player when he's played in the little minutes he has. I really wanted to see him either start a game or get loaned out to a good side where he's actually getting minutes.
Yeah, he just completely fell off the map as well. Um, Sam, you play tomorrow against News. What are you expecting?
I expect nothing but a win from that game. Honestly, we need to get back on the high horse, so to speak, after a loss.
Uh
We
huh.
need to go out all guns blazing and go hopefully for more than one goal. Hopefully a 3-0 win. But obviously,
You're
that's probably
away.
we are away, so that's not gonna you never know. That's what we really need to start up again the bandwagon, so to speak, of the team to try and get them more motivated to win that title. Because at the moment they've just been playing really sloppy football.
Yeah, things are not looking that great. But all right. Unless you guys want to say anything else, and I don't think there's any rumors besides the Castaños one, right?
The Beto
The Beto
actually,
one as well.
yeah, to
Yeah.
the MLS, yeah.
Yeah, but besides that, there's nothing else that we might have missed, right?
I think we talked about before, but Teo Gutierrez coming back to Sporting apparently in a couple of weeks. So yeah, that will probably help our striker problem. Even though I've
If
never
he
really liked Teo
stays.
Gutierrez. True, if he stays.
Um, but yeah, we already talked about Teo as well a couple weeks back. So,
What
Yeah,
MLS team for Beto, did they say?
they just said MLS. That's his
Ah,
destination.
well, the Revolution need a new goalie.
Oh god, here's Kevin trying to do his links there. He's like, please come on.
Beto and Quadragema, please.
Preston's apparently going to China though. So
Oh god,
Yeah,
China
too
screwing up
bad.
everything. Screw you, China. Um. Anyway, moving on to Porto. Yo, Kevin, did you watch the game against Maritim?
No, I didn't really get to watch much of it. The first half I
Uh,
completely
uh,
missed. Second half, I wasn't paying attention. I was doing something in between, but I did get to see the Marítimo goal.
all right, so I'm gonna do my best and try and be as unbiased as I can. All right, because I did watch the whole game. I mean, I watched bits and pieces
I
of the
already know what
last
you're gonna
20
say.
minutes. But all right, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna give you everything. All right, I'm gonna tell you everything. But first, let me give the lineup. Obviously, the same one as usual. Casillas in goal, Maxi, Felipe Marcano, and Alex Telles across the back. Danilo Oliver, Brahimi, Jota, Corona, and André Silva. Listen, I thought that Porto had a decent game, like a good enough game to win. They had a penalty, like not called in their favor, like clearly, on Maxi. I thought that was obvious, that was blatant. And after that, the ref kind of screwed up the game because he missed a lot of calls in the midfield, especially in the midfield where it allowed Porto to go on a counter a lot because there were some small little fouls, those little like these little pushes that pulling the shirt that wasn't getting called, and then they went on a counter a lot because of that. I thought he overcompensated in that, but overall Porto created enough chances to win the game. Um, and they rightfully won. Brahimi scored, a goal that I thought was a little bit sloppy because I think that he wanted to cross that in, but
Hey,
he
it's the
went.
goal that counts, and that's what matters to me.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I thought that he wanted to cross that in, but he went in, and then Andres Silva made it 2-0 again one of several counterattacks that Porto had because of the how I guess the referee was just not calling any of those small fouls. He was like letting the play go on. and Porto ended up scoring from one of those counters. Maritim obviously scored a beauty finally to end Porto's drought, like not drought, Porto's
The
incredible
streak.
record. Yeah, incredible streak that they had going on. And that was the game. I thought the Porto deserved to win, but I think that the referee missed the penalty in their favor, and then just completely messed up the game from then on. I thought Maritim played well, like up to what they should do, given that they were 2-0, 1-0 down. Uh, I think that Mauricio is a great center back.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's amazing. I wouldn't mind if he could signing him up if Lindelof does go, because he's good. He was good. He
Isn't he
was
in his
solid.
30s though?
I don't know.
I think he played for Olhanense, if I'm not
I'll go
mistaken.
check. That was the game. That was the game. If you want to say anything to what I said,
Yeah, of course, another game without a penalty called. What else is new?
oh my god.
No, it's true. What can I
Yeah,
do?
you overcompensated though.
I don't care. It's a penalty. It doesn't matter if you overcompensated, undercompensated. It's a penalty. It should have been called.
He's 24 by the way.
He is. I thought he was in his 30s. But did he
Yeah,
play
and
for
that
Olhanense?
Porto just completely let him go. I'll check. That was bad by Porto.
Oh no,
How
he
the hell did
wasn't.
they let that guy go?
I thought there was a Mauricio
Uh,
that played for Olhanense. Maybe I'm mistaken.
uh,
Could be another Mauricio.
uh
I'm sure he's not
no,
the
no,
only
no,
Mauricio.
I
no.
remember there
You're
was one who
right.
fed
You're
a
right.
Sporting, but
He
he was
played
awful.
Portimonense 44 games. Then Porto B, then Porto B again, and then Maritim. So there you go. He was a Portimonense. You're right.
No, I said Olhanense.
Yes, there you go. That was close. He's from
It must have been another Mauricio
from the
that played
south.
for Olhanense.
He played for Portimonense. So there you go. Maybe you got them messed up. Maybe you got them messed up. Just go with
But
that.
yeah, it ended with Dents. So
So there you go. Maybe you got them messed up. All right. But moving on now to the Chaves games. Did you watch the Chaves game?
I watched the last 15 minutes of the first half, and I watched the majority of the second. So I watched most of
All
it.
right. I completely missed out like the last 30 minutes of the game. But same lineup as before. Casidas, Maxi, Felipe Marcan, Teles, Danilo, Oliver, Brahimi, Jota, Corona, Silva. Same old, same old. The Platter scored, and Danilo obviously scored. Um, and just give it the first couple minutes. Chaves were always pressing high. They were being very aggressive. Got the goal. Kept going on the counter, even though they didn't score. They had good chances to do so, and kept piling up the pressure on Porto when they could, and defended quite well when they could. I'll let you take over now. The second half.
Well, I still want to cover a little bit of the first half from what I saw.
Oh,
So
sure. Go right ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know how this referee, I forgot what his name was, Vasco Sanch, was it? Not like it matters anyway.
Probably he's terrible. So I'd
Yeah,
say
anyway,
yes.
it doesn't really matter because it was another game we got screwed, so it doesn't really matter the name. Anyway, from what I saw afterwards, like Porto played a good first half, not great, but a good first half. It was
No,
decent.
but
Huh?
they were challenged. They were
They were
challenged. Bro.
challenged. No, they were. But I'm saying it was a decent first half. I'm not saying they were smothering Chaves or anything like that. Chaves is an opponent that deserves respect. And when we gave our predictions in the preseason, when Alex was here, me and him actually predicted that they would be a tough team to beat, and they were going to be on the top half of the table. So from what I saw, they were very aggressive. They were like rugby tackling Porto players and everything. I was like, and the referee wasn't even calling it. So my blood was starting to boil there.
They took advantage of what the referee was giving them. Hard played, hard fought football.
Yeah, so the littlest fouls he was calling against Porto, but then we were getting rugby tackled, and he would say play on. And that my blood there was starting to boil because I can already feel it. And then the second half came, and then we were still down 1-0. Then there was the Andres Silva goal that was waved off. I understand.
Wrongly waved off without even watching the
Thank you.
replays. When I saw the play, I didn't think you. I to be honest with you, I didn't even watch the replays because I saw the play and I was like, oh, goal, and then it is allowed, and I was like, he was not offside. Didn't even watch the rest though. But yeah, it looked like first glance that he clearly was onside.
All right, so I don't know how they messed that one up. I can understand that it was a close play, but when will they ever give the striker the advantage?
Never,
If that
and
was
that's the
another,
most annoying thing in the world. Sorry to cut you off.
I mean, I'm not pointing out, and I'm not singling out any team, but any
No,
other
it
team. Some
happens.
other teams, it could. All right, but some other teams that let it go. I don't understand that. What's an offside and what's not? I don't know what an offside is anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was that, which was a clean goal. Finally, you admit something in my favor. So,
Oh my
uh,
God, screw you.
so we can all agree. I think Sam will agree too. I don't know how he feels about it. I never asked him. I don't
I
even
I
know
don't
if
know
he
if you
saw it.
saw.
I
I
didn't
don't,
actually see it, no,
you didn't
because I
see
was
it.
actually doing something at the time. I was actually picking up my grandparents from the airport, so I didn't actually get a chance to watch that game.
You didn't miss
Okay,
out on anything. You
I'll
basically, Andre
send it
Silva
later.
was on side,
Okay.
and they called it off.
I'll send it to you later in our group chat. Anyway, there was that. Then there was the Moxie penalty, where he's going up for the ball and he gets taken down clearly in
I
the
don't think
box,
I watched it.
right in front of the referee, and he waves play on. I couldn't believe it. When I saw that, I was like, "That's it. You might as well not even finish this game, call it off. Game is done." But luckily, with the attitude that we have against everything and everybody,
Uh,
we came back and we scored 2 goals. I had to pinch myself and rub my eyes to make sure that it was the Pata that scored because I couldn't believe it. And then and then there was that golazo by Danilo. What a goal. I was actually eating. I'm glad that I didn't choke or anything. I jumped up out of my chair with my mouth full of food and I'm screaming golo, It was like a big goal and obviously, with the odds stacked against you and the way that the game was going and the referee wasn't, he was, I don't want to say helping Chaves, but like he was kind of going against
it
us a
just
little bit.
missed calls. He missed calls.
All right,
I
but
didn't see
it
the
like
penalty to be honest with you, so I can't talk about that. He just say that he was missing calls though, because I
But
don't
the
want to say
feeling
that
is
the
that he was against us. Like he just wasn't gonna have it. He was just gonna give Porto a bad game.
maybe
Missed
because of
calls.
yeah maybe because of Porto, not because of Chaves though. I don't
Maybe he
doubt
just doesn't
that.
like Porto.
I don't, dude. Rui Costa fucking hates Gedge. The whole game had Gedge had like 3 fouls. One of them was the penalty, which I know that you think it's debatable. But besides that, there were other 2 fouls that were clear. He didn't call anything, and they were clear as day. I mean, sometimes I think refs just don't like players or they don't like teams and they go against them. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt
Well,
that
he
at all.
clearly doesn't like Porto, and he might be a fan of another team.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
I what? Did I
All
say
right,
anything?
I just want
Do
to
you have a
say,
guilty conscience where you
hold
have to
on,
think it's always
no, I
Benfica?
just have to say though, whenever you get a disallowed goal, you're not allowed to go ahead and start singing names against Benfica because we don't freaking control your games. We don't
Well,
say,
I have
hey,
a
look,
feeling
they
that they're
scored
up to it.
offside. They scored. Let's say it's offside. It's Benfica's fault that they said it was offside. No, no, dude, no. And my dad actually pointed something out, which I thought was quite true, was how Bruno Carvalho shoots at everything that's Benfica related, but didn't shoot at the fact that Porto played 1 week ahead of them, knowing quite well that it will make a very big gap on the numbers.
Well, he
You
obviously
know?
hates Benfica, so I mean, I can't really
Exactly.
comment on that.
That's what my dad was trying to say is that if it was Benfica, oh my God, what the hell is this? It's Porto. Nobody's talking about it, but Porto did get an advantage out of that. You
Well,
know?
in a way, yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really
it,
matter. They
it, it
played
doesn't
the
help
same.
out Sporting, basically. Sporting
Either
went
way,
into a game knowing that they were like 7 points behind. And if they want to discuss everything, then discuss that as well. Because that was a bad, you know, like why did Porto do that? You know, it wasn't even questioned. And I think that it should have been by a team that questions everything.
but what advantage do we really have if we played on a Thursday and then we played again on a Monday?
Your advantage was that you're exactly. That's why I don't even. That's why I don't even get why you where you anticipated the game. That's what I'm saying. That Bruno Carvalho had a legit claim of actually saying something that matters, and he didn't. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think he'd rather see Porto win over Benfica.
Exactly. That's my point. Is everything's about Benfica, and if you actually wanted to complain about things that aren't right, I don't think that Porto going, anticipating that game was right. I don't think so.
All right,
But
but
it is what it is.
all right, carrying on with the rest of the Porto match. There was a debatable call at the end with the Chaves player getting taken down in the box. Now, I'm gonna give my honest opinion on this, and I promise you, it's not biased. And a lot of people will agree with me, and some people will disagree with me. But when Felipe is going up to get the ball, I understand that his arm is extended on the Chaves player, but how can you tell from that angle? Because there was only one angle. How can you tell if he used his other hand to help himself up over the back of, I don't even know who it was, but he jumped over his back supposedly. But from what I saw, when Philippe was watching the ball the whole time, he went up for the ball, and the Chaves player just like backed up into him. So to me, that's just like a Chaves player wasn't paying attention. Philippe got all ball. He had one hand up, and the other hand could have been on the Chaves player's back. I don't know. Like I said, the angle was too far away. So, in my opinion, I don't think it's a penalty, especially if the one from Moxie wasn't a penalty. And I know some people that think that the Moxie one wasn't and the Chaves one was, and that's fine. Everybody has their own opinion. But to me, if the Moxie one isn't a penalty, then the one for the Chaves player isn't a penalty. Either way, to me, the Chaves one
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a penalty no matter what. So that's just my
All right.
opinion.
Sport TV at it again with bad replays. I didn't watch that. I mean, I watched it once when Timo retweeted, but I didn't pay enough attention to talk about it.
Yeah,
So
definitely some bad angles. Like they couldn't get the one on Semedo and Pizzi a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I agree.
that wasn't that on Benfica TV.
Was it? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, go figure. Benfica TV.
Oh
Sorry,
my
I should
god,
have. I should have known better.
dude, they were
What am
dick
I, stupid or
riding.
something? I should have known.
They were dick riding Riwab today. Oh my god, it was unbelievable. I'm like, am I watching Benfica TV or am I watching Riwab TV? It's terrible. But that's besides the point. But Sport TV came up with bad angles. I'm not surprised.
So did
Uh,
Benfica. Not surprised either.
oh
But
my
carry on.
god.
Carry on.
You know what I find stupid though that I'm gonna point out is how Sport TV, for example, for like 5 plays, they show like the line, and then all of a sudden they stop showing the line, and you're like, why?
What
You
line?
guys notice that? Like when there's an offside, and on the replay they show you the replay with the
They did it
line,
for Porto
and then they
against
stop
Chaves.
showing it, and I'm like, what? Yeah, I find it stupid. I find it dumb. Don't know why they do that.
Maybe the angle wasn't good enough to use the line.
Yeah, right. Otavio's
Possible.
injured. How do you? I mean, obviously, and he got surgery. Do you need to go on the market, or I mean, João Teixeira finally played.
Yeah, and I think that Nuno realizes that João Carlos Teixeira is going to have to start getting some minutes because Brahimi is obligated to leave for the Cup of African Nations in January, and Otavio's not going to be back
Oh,
probably in time just for Sporting.
hold up! I don't want to. I don't want to say stuff, but Sam, can you help me out with? I think Matip doesn't want to go to the African Cup of Nations, does he?
Which Matip?
Joel?
Matip, the
Oh, the Liverpool one. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, he wants to stay to help Liverpool because they're in a good position right now.
Yeah, and like Klopp thinks that he's gonna get away with it or something like that. Like he's not gonna get charged by FIFA or whatever, right?
He'll either get charged or I'm sure that he'll have to go he'll have to go. So either he's going to get suspended or maybe just a big fine. But I just assume he'll be going anyway because you have to represent your country in the national stage.
That's just stupid. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, the clubs are the ones that pay the salaries.
Yeah, that's
So
what I was gonna say.
So if Brahimi was like Cristiano Ronaldo and he played for Porto, and we're paying him millions for a salary, and you're not paying him anything.
And he doesn't
not
want to
sure
go.
how-
Doesn't want to go. That's key.
Brahimi doesn't want to go.
No,
Are you
I'm just
talking about
saying.
Matip? Okay.
If let's say that you're putting that example, but we're stating that the player doesn't want to go, because I think that the player wanting to go or not wanting to go is what makes or breaks the deal.
So exactly. So why should it be a big deal if Matip doesn't want to go? If he wants to stay with Liverpool, let him stay. Why should you be obligated to get a player that you're not paying? I don't think they pay player wages
No,
there
they
with the
don't
national
pay.
teams.
They
They
pay
don't.
like bonuses for wins and stuff.
Okay, so how is that right that you have a right to recall your players, but the clubs that pay for their salaries, that play them so they can grow as players and progress and become great players, especially for your country, you're gonna say no? And I understand that the Cup of African Nations is a big tournament. It's kind of like the Euro for us. But then again, like, why should you like force the player, especially if he doesn't want to go? You know what I mean? Like, I like how the European teams do it. They ask for permission. Like, is it okay if we use him? I know that Portugal and Real Madrid have kind of butted heads on Cristiano Ronaldo because of his injuries, but they work it out between themselves. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I highly disagree with how they're obligated to go to play the Cup of African Nations, especially for them. That's a big tournament, and if he doesn't want to go, then why should he get punished and pay for it? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring that up because you were talking about Brahimi, and I saw earlier that was something related with Matip, and doesn't want to go to the Cameroonian national team, so that's why I brought it up. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, so just really quick, I think that you might have to get a winger because I don't think that I know they're saying that Otavio is going to be back in time for Sporting, but that doesn't mean he's going to play against Sporting. He's going to have to
C-
get fit again and be in form again.
can I just throw a name in the air?
hmm
Gleison,
From
uh, from Pastors, dude, is on loan.
oh yeah. I mean,
So why not? I mean, he's part of a winning championship team, So why not?
I know, but like,
And it doesn't cost
I
you
don't know,
money,
dude.
and you're not gonna play
I know, but
Calvin.
that's you're taking a chance. I'd rather play Kelvin to be honest. I'm
No,
actually
but
hoping
you
he comes
there's
back.
no way you can play Calvin. There's no way.
Why?
Because he's gonna like start basically preseason with the team, and you're not gonna.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
he's to me. I'd rather play with pick Kelvin. Um,
I'm just
so
uh, I'm just gonna say that Gleason kid is gonna be one of those from like
how
the
old is he
20
anyway?
20 something. I don't know, man. Dude, he's young. He's like 20 or 19. I'm saying he's gonna be part of that winning championship team, man. That is not gonna get one single chance to do anything at Porto. That's what it's
I
looking
mean,
like.
it happens.
But it annoys me. How do you win?
I know it
How do you
does.
win? How do you win a league that is very, 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 very competitive, and then you have Andre Silva playing, and Andre Silva was already being called up before they even won the league.
But
Why do none of those other guys got any chances?
I don't think that he'll get recalled. Not in the middle of the season.
No,
I
but
mean,
I'm
it
just
could
saying.
happen, but I think that they're willing to take a risk on Kelvin. Maybe I know that they're thinking about it because there was no guarantee that we're going to use him. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. I mean, he's a hero to all us sportistas, and I get
Uh,
that, but doesn't mean he's going to be the same as he was. And he did save us that season at that game against Braga. He
game
turned the
against
game
Braga
around.
was crucial.
Yeah, exactly. And he
Fucking hell.
came in and gave us the win.
Yeah, no,
So,
but you need depth. I agree with you. You need depth there. I'm just saying that
and he's more mature now. He's a different player. So,
we'll see. We'll see. I just wanted to bring him up because he's part of that winning championship side that I just don't see anybody getting a chance playing, and I just think that's very dumb.
yeah,
By any
maybe.
team, like any team, if that was like Benfica, Porto, Sporting, or Braga, or Guimarães B, doesn't matter who the hell it is. When you have a B side that wins the league, you got to give a couple of those players chances, man.
Yeah, I get that, and I can agree with you. I think that these youngsters, especially the Portuguese ones, Gleison isn't Portuguese; he's Brazilian, I think.
Yeah, he's Brazilian.
But I've said this before, like when we first started this podcast. I think that we need to take more of a risk on our Portuguese youth players because not only for our clubs but also for the Portuguese national team. So I agree with you
Yeah,
that the youngsters do deserve minutes and
yeah,
they deserve a chance.
yeah. I was pointing that out because that annoyed me. Um. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else though to point or to talk about. Maybe get another winger. That's what you said. The January transfer window is gonna open like next week, so we'll see what's gonna happen. But there's nothing else really to talk about, is there?
Um,
I didn't
no,
watch FC Porto Global this week because he was being annoying, so I skipped out on Porto News. So you gotta help me out.
on Portugal's. Oh God, I haven't really kept up with much of it. There's nothing really besides the Otavio surgery and that he might be
Calvin,
back.
Calvin
Kelvin
might
might be
be
back.
back, and Marega is not gonna come back.
Yeah, that's guaranteed, and that was a guarantee by Pinto da
Yeah,
Costa that
Marega's not coming
Marega
back.
saying that Guimarães and that Kelvin is a possibility to be integrated into the club.
Yeah, all right. Now on to Benfica. Three Benfica games, and I'm all alone on this one. Jesus Christ. Nobody watched anything of the Benfica games. Like nothing at all. None of the games.
Uh,
I did not.
nope. So have fun.
Great, great. That's Jesus Christ. All right. All right. I'm gonna try and pop in some questions every now and then, help you guys out. But Benfica played Real Massamá, obviously. They won 3-0. Mitroglou scored twice. Raul then also scored. Ederson was in goal. Andre Almeida, Lisandro, and Jardel. Jardel coming back was huge. And Yuri Ribeiro, a guy from the B team, making his first team debut. Samaris and Danilo in the midfield. Sivkovic, Chervi, Carrilho, and Mitroglou. This game worked out. As soon as Gage came in, Gage was the big change. You can clearly tell the difference between the fringe players and the starters, which is not that great. But he turned the game on its head. We scored twice with Mitroglou, and then Raul, taps it in, makes it 3-0. All right, game over. Let's go. Basically, that was about it. I was happy to see Yuri make his debut, even though I don't really rate him highly. But there you go. They obviously do. Jardel coming back was huge. Danilo getting some minutes was also cool. And I'm going to ask you guys this question as well in a sec, which I think, because it's something that to me doesn't make any sense. So, and I'll ask you guys that are on the outside of things how you feel about that. But I just want to point out Carrillo had another bad game. Every time he touched the ball, he just wasn't lucky. He shot goes wide. He wants to cross the ball and he overhits it. We'll see what happens in January. All right, but guys, the question is that I want to point out is that every week either Salish or Danilo gets called up, and when you have a loanee that you have a buyout clause on, and you're still calling him or calling up a guy that you barely play from Colombia, it doesn't seem like Rui Vitória has an idea on who he wants to play for that number 3 center midfield spot, basically. Uh, just it doesn't make any sense to me. Basically, what I'm trying to ask you guys is that if you have a buyout clause on a player, by January, should you not have a certain idea about the player?
An idea, yes, but I don't think like whether to buy him or not. Like Joel Campbell, obviously, I don't think we should buy. We do have I believe we have a buyout clause of 8 million. Don't quote me on that because that's what I've been told. But right now, I wouldn't buy him. But who knows? In January, he might turn into the best pro in the league. He might score all the goals. So, but with Danilo, his case is that he's not getting enough game time to start. And I think if you do have a lone player, he should be almost prioritized over the rest because you do have an option to buy. But obviously, Rui Vitória hasn't figured out who he wants in that role. Maybe they
Yeah.
both not impressed him enough. Maybe he's going to cancel the loan and just buy a new defensive mid in January. So
I just find it weird because Danilo is getting all the game time, right, in the Taça games.
yeah,
But sometimes he doesn't get called up to certain Liga games, and Celis does, and I find it excuse me, and I find that really weird because if Danilo is getting the nod in the Taça games, why isn't he getting the nod in the Liga games that Salis doesn't even play? He's just there.
Ruben Torre must not be impressed with Danilo, I take it, in his opportunities in the Taça.
Mm,
What do you think about his performance in the Taça? Do you think he's deserved to start?
decent. I think it's decent enough. See, I haven't seen enough of Salish, so I obviously want to go with the guy that I've been given minutes.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get why he gets called up. Just today he got called up. He was on the bench, but you're like, why is a guy that hasn't played in months on the bench when Danilo just played last week?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's something that's bothering a lot of people, and it doesn't make any sense to me because if you have two players that are fighting for a spot and one of them is getting the nod in the Taça games and is actually playing, then why does the other one get called up to the Liga games but doesn't even play? It just stays on the bench.
Yeah, it's confusing.
It is. It's stupid, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. Hey Kevin, you want to say anything?
No, not really. These guys touched upon it. I mean, I don't really pay attention to Celis or Danilo, to be honest, so I don't really have much to add. But I kind of get your point, though, and I agree with everything that Sam said, so there's not really much to add.
All right, and I want to bring that up because I thought that was a little bit weird. Anyway, then we'll move on to the Liga game. Obviously, Benfica played Estoril away from home. 2-0. Their manager, by the way, same lineup as they normally do. Ederson in goal, Smith, Luizão, Lindelof, André Almeida, Feza, Pizzi, Serbi, Rafa, Guedes, and Raul. Their manager impressed me a little bit. I thought he was good. We'll see what he's going to do with Estoril. Because obviously the Brazilian guy got sacked. They brought in this new guy. I mean, they didn't threaten anywhere near enough on offense, but they were quite decent on defense. So I guess they got that going for them. Obviously, need to point out that even Ujogo pointed out that there was a penalty that wasn't called, and like, holy, finally, miracle. And the one that they got called was a little bit debatable, which I find it fair because everything that is related to handballs is debatable. So, but it was called. Benfica ended up winning 1-0 because of that penalty that Jimenez scored. And there was also another penalty that wasn't called, but there was only one replay as well of it on Sport TV, obviously. So it's also debatable. But there's one clear penalty that wasn't called. And another question that I'm going to bring you guys, and I asked this on Twitter, but, and a couple people replied to me, but they put it in different contexts in like, oh, if I'm choosing this guy, it's because he's starting. No, I'm going to ask you guys this question. So it's 19 minutes in, right? Last play the game is a penalty. You got Jonas and you got Raul in. Who do you guys want to take the penalty?
Jonas.
Or Jonas.
Okay. Raul's 100% from the spot, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
He's never missed a penalty in his senior as a senior player.
He will sooner or later.
You still, I don't.
It'll be the next game. Watch. They're gonna get a penalty. It's gonna be at the end of the game. It's gonna be 0-0. He's gonna hit the post.
Nah, because it's gonna be Jonas by then. Because Jonas isn't playing, bro. Yeah, I almost forgot. Jonas was major key in this game. He was amazing. 20 minutes and he got like 2 chances like right off the bat. He's gonna be clinical again. He's gonna score a lot. And I'm going to make that table. Sam, I'm not sure if you were listening to us at the time, but we got into a fight with Alex that I said that when Jonas comes back, he's gonna be the best goal scorer.
I was there.
Okay, I'm gonna make that table in a little bit. Which right now I think we're the Platter 1. Because he did score. Technically, it counts as week 15, right? So the Platter 1, Raul 1, Mitroglou 1. That's how we're doing. Bastos hasn't scored because he's got a chance on this weekend, but there we go. Yeah, Jonas was amazing. He didn't even show off his rust. Like he looked 100%, which is good because they're definitely gonna need him. Then obviously to today's game, And if people are wondering why games are played today and tomorrow, it's because there's no games during the Christmas weekend. So they were all, advanced over to this week.
Hmm.
Um, Benfica played Rio Ave. Obviously, Rio Ave with Luis Castro, former Porto B player, goal manager.
Mm-hmm.
It had 4 wins in a row with Rio Ave before today's loss. Benfica came up with the same starting 11, but for Raul, Mitroglou was starting. I thought he played quite well, Mitro. Very good player. I think a lot of teams would love to have him. Cough, JJ Cough. Um, PZ also scored. PZ had a very big game. Again, he doesn't show up a lot, but when he does, he's either coming up with goals or assists, and he's got 8 goals and 8 assists this season overall. Um, Now, guys, in the during the game, during the second half, at one point, PZ head was on a yellow, and he was gonna miss the Guimarães game. How crucial would it been for Benfica to lose out on him against an opponent like Guimarães?
Pizzi's,
Huge.
yeah, Pizzi's obviously been a really good player for you this season. He's been really in form, but yeah, it would have been a huge loss to you, I think.
Is he Benfica's best player?
Yeah, maybe him and
I'm not counting
Edison, maybe.
genres at all. So
Edison has been a really solid for you as well. So
yeah,
for me, it's between those two from the games I've watched anyway, because I haven't seen a lot of Benfica games. But when I have, those are the two players that stand out to me.
and obviously Fazer. Can't forget about Fazer.
Sure.
Yeah. What do you want? He's good. He's good. You can't complain. He's good. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously we can touch upon it because we got time. Because I flew through these Benfica games. Because really, there's not really much to discuss. I
Thank God.
mean, it's obviously it's the same old, same old. Smith's been great. Wisdom was decent. FaZe is a beast. Rafa was good again. Rafa is starting to show why he was worth that amount of money. Servy's just brilliant. He's great on defense whenever he's
He
not
was
being
worth
good
what
on
amount of money?
offense. Like
How much?
16 million? Was it 16? I think it was 16, right?
Okay, because you said anything over 15 million would have been way too much for Rafa Silva.
I paid that extra million. I don't
Ah,
mind.
yeah. Yeah,
I
now
don't
you
mind.
would. Now he's worth every penny, right? Yeah.
He is. Dude, whenever you produce an assist like that against Sporting, you're worth every kind of money.
It was a nice assist. It would have been a shame if they had missed. But I just want to go back to Peasy for a second. And
Yeah, go right ahead.
you know that I was one of Peasy's biggest critics, but he's turned out to be actually Benfica's most important player, I think. So,
MVP? Probably
pro-
MVP of the league. Would you
like
guys say
Sam
he's
said,
MVP of the league?
I don't know about that. Like Sam said, Ederson too. Like these guys gotta think of Ederson too in all this because he's had a big part. Look at that save that he made on Bas Dos. Like, granted, it was a shot right at him, but he still saved it. It was a reflex save. And against Porto, like, how many saves did he have?
Yeah.
Huge saves. So to me, like, I agree with Sam. For Benfica, the most important players is either PC or Ederson. In my opinion, I think it's Ederson because he's made huge saves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
If you don't mind as well,
Yeah,
Peter,
go
I was
right
going to ask you
ahead.
a question.
You
So
do.
obviously you got Grillo for free, but you had to pay money to obviously with the wages and stuff, and
Yeah.
apparently the fees all add up to 8 million, I believe. Would
Mm-hmm.
you would you pay 8 million for Carrillo? Do you think it's been a good investment? Do you think it
Uh,
still can go as a good investment?
I'm still being positive. I still think Benfica is gonna get the best out of the deal, and I don't think that they're gonna need to sell to get the best out of him. I still got my hopes up. I know a lot of people don't, but anyway, it can only go Benfica's way. I think because he's got a market, whether we want it or not, whether people want to believe it or not. He's got a market, so he's
Yeah.
gonna go eventually. I just want him to have a good, successful second part of the season because Salvio was terrible from January to May, which was basically 6 months of football. and then he came up, good during the season that he was having before he broke his arm. And Carrillo hasn't ended been playing for like 8 months, so I'm giving him time to play out the preseason and most of the first part of the season, and then I think he's gonna come up big.
There's also he was linked to United and Atletico Madrid as soon as you signed him for a
Yeah.
fee reported 35 million. Would you have accepted that? Looking back,
Maybe I know a lot of people would. Maybe I would too. It's just because he was a jab at Sporting and something that we barely do. I mean, I don't want to count Jallo because Jallo was
Yeah, but that's a
changing.
big like fu to Sporting if they had signed him and then sold him immediately for 35
Yeah.
million.
yeah, I agree. To be
I
fair.
can see, I can see that point of view. I can agree with it. I guess that we just wanted to see him succeed in the Benfica shirt more than thinking rationally about it.
Yeah, I think in all fairness, no disrespect to Carrillo, even though he has gone to the other team, still a very good footballer. I don't. If he didn't play for Sporting, I don't think we would have signed him. Like if he was from like a different, say, different league, I don't think he would have signed him just because he played for Sporting. I think that's the main reason you signed him,
Yeah,
to
I think
just to do that.
wish if he had said and he spoke about the Carrillo deal was when one day a team approached him and he said he wasn't going to name the team and asked if they wanted Carrillo on loan. And he was like, wait, why the hell do I want Carrillo on loan when he's a free player and I can get him?
Yeah,
Basically, that was his idea, and I think that was his decision. I think it was 100% Luis Vieira's decision to bring in Carrillo to Benfica.
yeah, fair enough.
I hope I answered your question because I'm still
You
very
did, yeah,
hopeful.
yeah.
I'm still very hopeful of him. Um, the other thing I want to ask you guys is that Lindelof looks to be a done deal to Man United. Stupid ass decision by Lindelof. God knows why he chose them.
More money, bigger league.
Still worse. Still a back. Still worse than Benfica.
But it's all about the money, really. Money talks.
Exactly, and it's the Premier League.
Exactly.
I know, but
Yeah.
would you guys really make the switch from a club that's constantly in Champions League to one that's been on a huge slump after
But it's the
Alex
Premier
Ferguson
League.
left? I get that, but
And
you're
also,
not winning.
Jose Mourinho as well, one of the best managers in the world.
Exactly.
Who doesn't want to pay him?
But you're not winning.
All right,
Yeah,
let me
but-
ask you a question, just real quick. If you have a nice, I don't know what kind of cars you have over there. Let's just say you have a Peugeot, right? And it's a nice Peugeot, and it's pretty, and you're doing fine with it, and it drives it around just fine. It's like brand new. Then comes along, your parents are going to offer you a Mercedes Benz, brand spanking new right off the lot. You're going to tell me that you're not going to want to drive that Mercedes, you're going to want to stick with your Peugeot?
Okay, but still.
Also,
it's a good analogy.
Yeah, like as well, Manchester United defence is the centre backs are very good. Smalling and I think Eric Bailly is starting, but Eric Bailly's got injured, so maybe Mourinho thinks Lindelof could be a missing piece and maybe stop the losing streak that they've had. So they don't score a lot of goals.
I guess the
United as
best
well.
thing's like that's like a 45 million euro or pound clause. So
I just hope it doesn't do the same as a Laurie when he went to Liverpool and just he was so hyped up, and I thought he was pretty good at Sporting, but then just sat on the bench, and I don't think he's actually ever started a game for Liverpool.
I don't ever
So-
remember him at Sporting. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Laurie.
Yeah, my dad was like, I just hope that he goes like David Luiz and that he finds his spot because David Luiz, people don't like him, but he's been playing.
Yeah,
He's always been a good center back, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also think so too, but a lot of people don't. But is he a big loss to Benfica?
Absolutely. You kidding me?
Yeah. Well, you could say that, but they've got good backup in Louis Zhao and Jardel.
Now, what
So-
happens if one of them gets hurt or suspended?
I mean, we're
True.
bringing up Kalaisa.
Yeah, but also remember, you're getting the money in January. There is a transfer window happening in January, so there is a lot of opportunity to bring in centre backs.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys trust the B team players as well. So, I mean,
True.
they're not bad. I watched them play. Either of them could do. As I think that a lot of people know, Lindelof wasn't even highly regarded after that Moreirense game that Benfica won like 6-2, which I think Yuri Medeiros scored in. he was terrible the whole game, and it was a Taça da Liga game, and everybody when he had to play in the league, everybody was like, "Holy shit, no, Lindelof is gonna be playing." He was terrible. He was all over the place that last time, and then from then on, the rest is history.
Yeah.
So I think that if he does go, if he can knows or thinks that they got a decent enough backup going on around there.
They'll sign
Yeah.
somebody, and I think I know who they might sign too. And I
Who?
really hate to say it because I really like to see him at Porto. What?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Go take a guess. Do you know who it is?
No idea.
Oh, I thought you was gonna take a
Nah.
guess. That's what it sounded like. Tiago, Jesus, Ricardo Freire from Braga.
It's okay.
What? What?
I like André Pinto more.
Oh man, I like Ricardo Freire better.
I don't. Mm.
I would love to see him at Porto. When we signed Boli, I was like, we're gonna get Freire instead.
You already stole one of my players, so F off.
But Boli?
No, Hernani.
Oh
you.
yeah,
Love
yeah.
Hernani.
He's on loan to Guimarães, right?
I know, he scored. I love
Okay,
the guy.
if Porto really need a winger, we can go and get him
Oh my god, don't even
and take
say
him from
that.
your Guimarães. Hey, it's possible.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
I think he's deserved. Like he's been one of the most underrated players that we've been loaning out. I think that's a great injustice to be loaning out Hernani because where he goes when he's on loan, like he's been playing extremely well, and I don't know why he hasn't gotten
He hasn't.
the opportunity.
He hasn't been playing well with Guimarães, by the way.
Maybe he was just lucky last season and had a good season.
No, he had a very good season with Guimarães, man, with Rui Vitória, and then the move to Porto. And what I don't understand is the lack of minutes he got, because he was good. He was a skillful winger that could play with both feet, mainly with the left, but he had a lot of skill. He could cross the ball. He's fast. He can shoot. He had everything going for him. He ticked all the boxes. Just whoever the hell was the coach of Porto at the time just didn't like him.
Yeah, take a guess.
Lopetegui.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. Yeah. Neil is just saying that Calais and Ruben Dias as well. So there you go. He's mentioning two players that I mentioned.
Oh, Neil's listening. Shout out to Neil.
Yeah, he's listening. He's listening. He just tweeted again. Will never leave Benfica for any club, but if I needed that extra few million for retirement, EPL is an option.
China,
BS.
if you're thinking about money, go to China, mate. Go to America.
Yeah, if you're thinking money, go to China. But I mean, I guess I just don't like Man United. I don't think it's a good club for him to go.
Yeah, but remember, the deal's not solid. Mate, it still could just be talk. Like at the start
Yeah,
of the year,
they're
Semedo and
talks.
Grimaldo, all of those linked to Premier League clubs, but those rumours have sort of died down now. So maybe Lindelof is going to stay until the end of the season. You might be lucky.
He can be one of those players.
I think he's gone.
I think talks say that his agents say that there's talks going on, whether he signs or not. Why do you think he's gone, by the way?
Because I'm sure he would want the move. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you?
100%.
Yeah,
Would you
I
want to
think he
move in
would want the
January?
move.
In January? I think you guys are crazy.
I didn't say
If it's
January.
Summer, if you say it's in the summer, I say 100%.
Maybe he
say
wants to go
to
now.
move in January. He doesn't want to move in January.
Hey, maybe it's a life decision for him, and he feels like it's in his best interest to go. If it was me, I would probably stay till the end of the season. You're in first place, and you want to keep that going.
and keep playing.
And then you'll have more teams interested. You have more options. I'm sure a team, I doubt it, but a team from La Liga could come knocking on your door.
He's like 22. He can definitely attract the attentions of clubs like Real Madrid. If I do want to be 100%
That's what I'm saying.
It can happen. So if he thinks that he can get even better options, offers in the summer, he's staying. If he feels like he really has to go, that's when he goes. I don't think he's desperate for the move, though. I think he's smart enough. Why? Why would you be desperate?
Because he's your best defender. I want your defense to suck. I want these guys to let in goals.
Yeah, can someone sign Edison as well, please?
No.
Yeah.
No, that cannot happen. Once that happens, we're done.
You never know, by the way, with Lindelof. I remember when Rojo went to Man United, we got a player on loan. Being Nani, you could also get a player on loan
Yeah,
Who the
true.
hell
as
do we get?
conversation. Marcus
Bro.
Rojo, maybe? I don't. That's
No.
literally all I can think of at the moment.
God, I hate Rojo. Jesus,
Michael
Fellaini.
that's
Carrick, I
bad.
don't know.
This is
Fellaini.
I can get Martial, I guess. Martial would be decent.
Good luck with that.
Oh, Depay. I mean, does the Memphis want to move?
Oh,
Memphis could move.
Memphis does
Not to
actually.
Portugal.
Who knows?
Memphis is a good shout, actually. Maybe.
Because he's got friends there. He's got like Joe Campbell. I don't know if he's friends with Markovic, but
Yeah, come to Sporting. What a
Yeah,
shout!
shut
I
up.
like it.
No.
You got
Screw you.
Bastos, Zegler, Joel Count, like all of them.
No, he could join Portugal. Thinking about it, he could join Benfica because he's got friends at Sporting.
Maybe for a loan. I don't think it would be.
No,
a
I'm not
permanent
saying
move.
on a transfer. I'm not saying on a permanent deal. I don't think that's ever happening. I don't think any player will take a step down from the PPL to the Portuguese league unless they're desperate.
Which Memphis is. In all fairness, he doesn't get a lot of playing time.
Yeah, but on loan, he's a good deal for him.
That would be something to try out.
It would. I guess. It would be. It would be.
I doubt it, but you never know unless you don't try.
It's worth a shout. I mean, even at one point, Romero could be an option because Benfica were interested in him. So at what point did they
Romero.
not try and get Romero in as well? I'm just saying it's viable. It's more viable if I see this going with some type of thing rather than just 45 million.
Yeah, but then they'll want to lower the price.
And lower the price. 30 million is more than good enough. For a player that I wouldn't even have any hopes for last year at this time, 30 million plus a player this year, I'd take it.
Oh.
I mean, you're not going to get a lot from them because you're not Porto.
Depends what player you get as well.
It depends, yeah. It obviously depends on the player that you get, but I would definitely lower the clause for a player. Because let's face it, besides Sport, no other team can seem to be able to get the biggest fee out of players. So I wouldn't be against that. All right, so we still got a couple minutes. You guys want to talk about the rule? The yellow card, red card suspension rule. Okay, so I'm put everything up to speed. Everyone up to speed, even though I think everybody already knows about it. But in Liga games and Taça the Liga games, so Liga competition, red card offenses are punishable on the next Taça the Liga game if it happens in the Liga, which obviously clears out the suspension from the Liga game. Now, what do you guys think about it?
Stupid.
Yeah, I
Damn.
think it's.
There you
I
go.
think it's dumb. I think that. Well, I wanted to let Sam go first.
No,
It just goes like it's stupid. There you go.
I didn't want to cut him off. I wanted to give him an extra second. So I think it's a stupid rule. I think it's dumb. I think that Portugal might be the only league where they're allowed to do something like this. I mean, I don't know. I think in England they do it in the Premier League. I think that if a player tries to do what BZ did today,
It was
he would get
hilarious,
what?
by the way.
Huh?
It was hilarious, by the way, because he knew time was running out. So he was trying to do everything. He was desperate, which was quite funny. I'm sorry.
It would have been
Just wanted
funny
to
if you
point
picked up. It would have been funny if you picked up a 2-match ban for it.
That never
Because
happens.
it doesn't.
That never happens.
I know, but they should change that. That should be a rule. Like, get with the times here. A player is trying to get 2 yellows or a red, whatever the hell he was trying to do, to miss the next game, a Taça de Liga game. Like, that shouldn't count
it's
over for the
in
Taça
the
de Liga
rules.
game.
Yeah, but it's.
I understand that, and I just said it needs to be changed. That's what I said. It needs to be changed because that's not fair. And I don't care if it was the Patron Porto that did it. Well, that's a
know
bad
because
example.
it happened.
I don't care.
It happened with Porto and Sporting. That's what I'm saying. It's part of the rules.
I know the players do it, and they shouldn't do it. I mean, they're using the rule to their advantage. But like, even if it was a player like André Silva, if you're trying to get a yellow to miss the next game, a crappy game to clean your slate, that shouldn't be allowed. Like you're gonna get a yellow, you're gonna miss the next game. It doesn't matter if it's a Taça, stupid Taça game. You're gonna get a 2-match ban. You're gonna get suspended for the next game and the one after that. And if both of the 2 games that are in a row are for like Taça de Liga or something, then you're gonna get suspended for a third game for the league. You're gonna get suspended for a league match at least.
Then
That's the way I
stop
look at
that.
it.
Stop that. Then just
That's what I just
say
said. Change it.
no, but don't change it like that. Just say Liga suspensions are done in the Liga, Taça da Liga suspensions are done in the Taça da Liga, and Taça Portugal suspensions are done in the Taça Portugal. Just say
Yeah,
that.
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
This doesn't happen between Taça de Portugal and the Liga because they're different organizations. By the way, I want to point that out so everybody knows. So if you get red carded on a Taça game, or sorry, let's say that you're playing a team, you get sent off in the Liga game, and the next week is in the Taça game, you play the Taça game. All right? That suspension doesn't count. It only works when it's Taça da Liga. I guess, okay, everybody's in favor of changing it. I'm Portuguese, so I'm just like, yeah, I can see why that happens, but I mean, I see that a lot of people don't.
Stupid.
I can see why. Okay, yeah. A lot of people are just like, no, I don't like this rule, and it was not just it was Benfica. It was like Sergio and David were going at it. And I'm trying to get them to understand, but it was like, yo, bro, that's just Portuguese mentality, and I'm like, okay, then just change it. It's fair because I can see why it happens, but people don't, and I guess they want to change it, and I agree. All right, change it. What do I care? I really don't care. Even because Benfica had Andre Horta back, so at one point I was like, okay, yay, we get to see Andre Horta, and people were on Twitter like, oh, he wants to get sent off, he's going to get sent off, and he ended up getting sent off, which is quite funny because he was trying to do everything. He jumped the wall at first, like trying to get a yellow. He got himself in front of the ball first to try and get a yellow. He pushed the player trying to get a yellow, but he got the pass off, so the ref played advantage.
I wouldn't have given the yellow. If I was the ref, I would have been like, no, you're not getting a second yellow.
And then if he can get a foul, he puts the ball down, he walks back, he waits like 30 seconds. He's just like, he keeps on waiting. Then the ref just goes to him and gives him the second yellow. And now you see somebody, Zen Mitroglou, in the background laughing. And
I saw that picture actually. Yeah.
it was funny. It was funny. I can't believe he left the game with a straight face. To be honest with you, because that was so funny. But I agree with you guys. I guess if you guys think that the rules should change, then I guess we'll change it. I mean, it's no big deal. I'm not really. It doesn't really bother me in any way. I want to point out that I did mess up saying that it was Feirense. It's actually Passos Ferreira. I think you play like Passos Ferreira, Feirense, and Vizela, or Vizela and Feirense, some crap like that. So it's against Passos that he cleans up his suspension, but that's all that matters. And then I don't know what's going to happen next week. We're still discussing if there's going to be a podcast next week or not. Because it's Christmas break and people are going to be with their families, even though I got nothing to do, so I can do the podcast if you guys want me to.
Unless you want to be by yourself.
Yeah, a one-man podcast. That's not going to be fun.
I'll be free, I believe. So, 2-man podcast.
All right, that's going to be fun. We'll see what happens, though. Kevin, I'll ask you to go around through the roundup of the scores, but, I mean, we don't even have every single score, so, I mean, there's not really much point to it.
Well, the Sevilla Liga was played today. Yeah, I'll do it today. I'll do it from
Jesus Christ.
Just from this round.
Yeah,
I'll do it from the 15th round. I don't know if I'll be available next Tuesday. I really don't think so. So I think this is going to be my last episode for this year. So before I do
Happy New Year.
Yeah, so before I go into the roundup, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. And I hope that your 2017 is better than your 2016. And
I swear, if I see those stupid 2017 posts, people, I'm gonna be very mad at you, and you're gonna get blocked. Seriously.
I want to say one more thing. I don't know if I should ask this, you guys. I don't know if you guys want to answer this next week, if you guys are on. But I want to give my top moment football moment of 2016 has to be ended in
Oh
Portugal.
my God, yeah, duh,
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, without a
duh,
doubt,
yeah.
the best feeling in the world to be European champions. It was an
Still
emotional.
hasn't sinked in. Still
Oh
hasn't
my God,
sinked
I was
in.
so emotional. I was crying like a little baby.
Especially
Uh,
Eder as well. Out of all the people to score,
Yeah,
it was
the
Eder.
ugly duckling. Yep, the ugly duckling did it.
I can't
Yeah,
believe how Sam feels about it. Sam, how you feel about it? I mean, you're not really Portuguese in any way, so
He's
yeah,
Portuguese.
yeah. My dad is Portuguese, so
I guess so for your
I
dad.
don't actually watch England nationally. I watch Portugal. I've seen a
Oh,
lot of Portugal games.
I thought you'd be the opposite, to be honest with you.
I dislike English national team
They're
really a
bad.
lot. Not that it's bad, it's just that they
It's
always come
boring,
up with excuses for every
you know.
single time they lose.
Oh, so they're basically sporty?
Oh, funny.
I had to, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. But yeah,
You set me
when
up, bro. You set me up.
like I said, when Eder, like I liked Eder just because he worked hard. I know he's not the best striker in the world, but
No, he's
literally,
not.
as soon as I got the ball, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna shoot, isn't he? Oh, don't shoot!" And I was like, "Oh, I got his shot! He scored! Yeah!" I was so happy. I was literally one of the best moments in my life.
I just screamed shoot. I was like, come on, shoot. And he scored. It was funny because earlier that day when he came on, I was like, my dad, I told him he broke the duck against Italy, and we beat Italy for like the first time in how many years? Now he can
Yeah.
do it against France, huh? And then he ended up doing it.
You knew that game though that like that game was screaming for Eder to come in, and I was like, oh my God, this game needs Eder. He needs to come in. And then when he shot it, like I didn't know that the ball went into the back of the net. I thought it went wide. I was like, did it go in? Did
Oh
it go
god.
wide? And then when I heard the ball hit the back of the net, I'm like, did I just hear the ball hit the back of the net? And at one split second, like all those thoughts went through my head. Did it go wide? I just heard it hit the back of the net. And then I seen them celebrating, and then I just got up and I just went crazy. I just
I,
absolutely I slid on the floor across my living room here. I went crazy.
I still
I
watch the highlights of that today. Whenever I'm
I
in a
do
bad
too.
mood, just
I
put it
knew
on.
I knew we were gonna win. I knew we were gonna win the game. You
Well,
wanna know
the Eder
why?
goal, you knew.
You
Well,
wanna
me,
know
I'm
why?
saying. Why?
Why?
Rui Patricio.
He was
He
a big
was. He
part of
was.
that.
I knew, like, on that moment, like, from that, like, he was playing, like, the first 20 minutes. I was like, okay, nothing's getting past that guy. Like, nothing. Like,
The save he made for Griezmann as well.
yeah,
Oh,
What
Griezmann
yeah,
had
one of the best saves.
chances.
That's one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the one where he hits, like, he just saves everything. Jesus Christ! Like oh my God, what's the name, guys? The midfielder. Oh my God, plays for Tottenham now.
Sissoko?
Sissoko, there you go. Had a big save on Sissoko. Uh,
Did
the
he
ball
get
hitting
a
the
touch to?
post.
Yeah,
That
did he get a touch to that on that shot by
nope,
Gignac? That's
almost.
how I knew
It,
that France wasn't going to win. Was when it hit the post. So I was like, it doesn't want to go in for them
I
today.
thought that went in as soon as I saw it. I was like, "That's a goal."
oh
When
my
it hit the
God,
post, I was
yeah,
like,
Me
because
too.
"Yes."
but like if that what's weird is that if he hit it a little bit wider, Rui Patricio would have gotten to it. Because there's that
Yeah.
replay that shows that he's literally centimeters away from the ball. If that ball goes a little bit wider to the right, he saves it. So there's no way they're scoring anyway. So no, to be honest though, when you were a former goalkeeper, and you guys know that when you look at the player and you see that feeling that like nothing's getting past him,
Yeah.
I felt we could have won that game. I felt we would have won that game because of how confident he was in goal. But there you go.
With the way things were going with Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. At first, when we went in, I was expecting to win, but then when Ronaldo got injured, not all hope was lost, but a lot of hope was lost.
You knew we were in trouble. I'll admit it.
Dude,
I knew it.
I didn't even think we were gonna win. I told you guys since day one from this podcast that we were gonna reach the final, but we wouldn't win. And we ended up winning. But when Ronaldo came off, I was like, okay, here's another way we can, you know, get this victory now because it's gonna be even more epic because Ronaldo's out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know how much Kevin likes Quaresma as well.
Oh my God, that's my
Great fill in
hero.
even for Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Freaking Nani was like MVP of the tournament though.
Yeah, five goals was it?
Yeah, stuff like that. But he was like overall tremendously good.
For me, it was Pepe. Honestly, he was a rock. He was my MVP of the whole tournament.
I don't want to say Patrice because that'll be like too repetitive. So that's why I went Nani. Nani was great.
What about you, Kevin?
Quaresma, he was a big impact player off the bench.
He
Bro.
did
was a
score
big
that
difference.
goal against Croatia as well. The
Exactly.
last couple
And he
of
came in
minutes.
off the bench and he was putting in crosses and they were putting him away. So he was a
Yes.
big sub for us.
Yeah. I think that
He
Rafa
made a
should have
big
gotten more
difference.
minutes. I actually we talked about it.
He
Me and Kev.
he didn't play a single game. Right?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Did he?
He did.
Like a couple minutes.
He played like 2 minutes, which I
Yeah.
thought was stupid. He deserved more.
No.
It's sad. And Pizzi as well. Pizzi should have been in that team. By the way, if Pizzi doesn't make the call up this year, in like March, I'm going to ahead and say that the whole thing's rigged.
No, I'm sure he'll get called up. I know Fernando Sancho dressed up as Santa this week, so maybe he'll give you guys a present and call him up.
He deserves to. I'm just saying.
No, I know. The season he's had, he deserves to be called up.
Yeah. All right. You want to go through the lineup now? Through your lineup. Through your
Yes.
roundup of the scores now?
Yes, my roundup of the scores. And one more thing before I do start this. And this is where I get everything else when I'm about to do this roundup. Shout out to my boy Sam, his dad. He listens, so special hello to him.
Boo!
Appreciate that he listens. Don't boo.
I'm booing because he's a Sporting fan. He hates
So
me.
what? He's very intelligent. He knows his facts. I'll say that
He
much.
probably
so.
hates me. Probably hates me. He's just like, oh,
He
that
hates
Peter guy.
Benfica.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm
Yeah,
Benfica. So
He's a smart guy and he knows his facts. And so
shout out to every dad in the world. There you go. Is that better? Shout out to you, Kevin. You happy about
Yeah,
that?
shout out to every dad in the world, but specifically like Sam's dad. He actually listens. My dad doesn't listen to this. Doesn't even speak English. Yeah, he does, but it's like broken English. He tries
Like
way too
George
hard.
Jesus with Portuguese.
Yeah,
God.
like that with the Spanish. El Chenchi Ocho, whatever it is. So
Do you guys know that Dragon Ball Z made a fun of that? Like they made a
I
joke
saw
about
that
it.
and I thought it was hilarious.
That was funny, dudes. That was mad funny. All right.
All right, so yeah, special hello to Sam's dad. All right, moving on.
Boo.
Jornada Kings, knock it off. Jornada Kings 15. Porto 2, Marítimo 1, Benfica 2, Rio Ave 0. The matches for tomorrow. Nacional Boa Vista at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. That'll be at 1700 hours in Portugal time. Then at
Damn,
the same
using military time.
yes, I'll use that again for the next two games because they're at the same time. At 1900 hours in Portugal time, it's Ferenc Paços Ferreira and Braga Moreirense, which equals out to 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then at the same time, 2100 hours and 4 p.m. Eastern time, Chaves Estoril, Belenenses Sporting. I think the Belenenses game with Sporting, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that match is going to be on RTP Internacional. If you could just give me 1 second, I can verify that. If my TV moves me faster.
Let
Yep,
me just go.
Belenenses Sporting on
There you go.
RTP Internacional. Let's see, and then we have. I'm not even going to do the Segunda Liga roundup because there's a lot of games that were all played today.
Yeah.
Vitória Setúbal is going to play Friday against Tondela and the Roca Guimarães. The standings is Benfica first with 38, Porto second with 34.
You can
Braga
skip the third place, the fourth place even.
Braga third. I could skip over fourth, that's fine. Tied for fifth is Sporting and Guimarães.
That's it worst. It's just like, oh my god, we're tied for points with Guimarães.
Braga's in third with 29. Sporting and Guimarães have 27. Sixth
Lucky
place.
for Sporting, they play, Guimarães plays Benfica.
Yeah, so that could be huge for Sporting to get away. Rio Ave is in sixth.
Spot. Sorry. Go on.
They'll be battling for third, though, definitely with Braga. And then maybe even fifth. I don't think it'll be that bad. I think it'll be third place for Sporting.
They did finish like eighth, like 4 years ago. So
yeah, this is different. This is a completely different side, and they're not even
it'd be
as bad.
hilarious though.
It would.
Can't imagine seeing JJ
I feel so bad for
finish
Sam.
fifth.
I feel so bad for Sam because he's like that one Sporting fan that you can respect. There's a couple of Sporting fans I can respect, but he's such a good guy that it's like,
Stop.
Yeah, it's
Too kind.
He's calm, like he has common sense.
Yeah, then it's not like Alex.
like in our group chats, like he stays out of it. Like me, like nobody knows about this obviously, but in our group chats, like me, Brian, and Peter, like we fight like dogs, like cats and dogs.
I try stopping things and it just gets worse.
It escalates, but we're all
I
pod friends
escalate
here, so
things,
yeah.
but
Sometimes it gets out
Sam's
of hands, but
yeah,
Sam
then
never says
and
anything. He's like,
then
I'm staying out of it.
yeah, then Sam's like,
Yeah.
can we all be friends, please?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all good though. All right, let me finish this table because I'm not even halfway yet. Sixth place is Rio with 23. Maritimo is in seventh place with 20 points. Shavj eighth with 19. Ninth place Planesh Shiroroka with 17. Vitória de Setúbal 11th with Pash Freire, both have 16 points. Istril 13th, 15. Boa Vista 14th place with 14 points. Then you have a three-way tie for 15th place. Nacional, Moreirense, and Feirense with 11. And last place is Tondela. I can do a quick. Screw it. I'll just do a recap of the second division scores from today. Leixões 2,
Oh
Penafiel 1.
God,
Yeah,
there's a
Leixões.
lot of games.
Nah, there wasn't that many played today. There was still three that need to be played. So Leixões 2, Penafiel 1. Gil Vicente 2, União da
Ah,
Madeira 1.
let me quickly add. Leixões plays Benfica, by the way. I forgot to say that for the Taça.
Yep, and Chaves
Benfica,
Sporting.
Benfica Leixões, and like I said before, Chaves Sporting. There you go.
Benfica gets so lucky in these draws. And I'm not saying anything bad with that, Peter,
Yeah,
by the way, but they get lucky.
and BTW. There's no way that Sporting and Benfica meet in the semifinals. Okay.
I hope they play for the final. That'd be awesome.
Benfica can either play Estoril or the Académica, and Sporting, if they go through, play either Guimarães or somebody else. So there's still hope for a Guimarães Benfica final.
Is it Covilhã?
Yeah, Covilhã. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. All right, so Gil Vicente 2, União da Madeira 1, Varzim 2, FAF 1, Académico 1, Famalicão 1, Braga B 2, Benfica B 1, Aves 1, Convida
Oh
Piedade
my
nil.
God.
Aves just winning, man. I can't believe it. Aves 1,
Go
Convida
King.
Piedade nil.
It's all King, bro. It's all King.
Oh, yeah, he's their coach, right?
No,
That's
talking
right.
about the goalkeeper, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, wait, I thought he was coaching them. What the hell am I talking about? He's still playing? He still plays?
Yeah, he's the starter.
Wow. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Must be quite old now.
Yeah, it's like
It's got to be 40.
Yeah, he's like 42.
At least he's 40.
He like quit smoking to be able to stay a goalkeeper. There you go.
That's why I thought like he was coaching them. Like the hell are you talking about? He still plays. But all right, moving on. Santa Clara slipped up. They tied 1-1 at home against Sporting de Covilhã. So Covilhã was a tough.
GG Covilhã. I mean, they beat Braga, so.
Yeah, so I guess they're informed. Santa Clara did score a goal. I tweeted it, but then I took it down immediately because the goal got waved off. I don't know what it was. I just saw it and I freaked out. And then the final game played was Oyonnax 0, Portimonense 1. Portimonense winning again. You know they only lost one game this season?
Was it to Santa Clara? Who the hell was it to?
I don't know if it was Santa Clara. I forgot who it was. But Aves also has one loss, by the way. In case somebody knew that. So
that's why first and second place decided, basically.
They're so close. Like, Deportivo Aves was like mid-table. Like, they were behind Santa Clara. I remember like 2 months ago, I was like, Santa Clara's ahead by like 9 points. And now, everything is like in
mixed
shambles
in
for
together.
Santa Clara.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so this is the top 5. Portimonense is in first place with 49 points. Deportivo Aves, I don't know. Deportivo Aves is second with 45, so they're behind by 4 points. Third place, Santa Clara, they're behind Aves by 10 points. It's going to be tough for anybody to knock out Aves. It's looking like it's going to be Portimonense and Deportivo Aves. Although there is a lot still to play for. They're not even, or just about halfway through the season.
Halfway through, yeah.
So Santa Clara is in third with 35. Fourth place, Cove de Piedade with 32. And Académica, they lost a huge game. Now they're behind 15 points. They have one less game played, though. So if they do win, I believe they play
12 points, though. That's 12
if
points.
If they do win, it'll be 12.
So, yeah, it's still a lot. Still a big gap. All right,
yeah, so 5. If they do lose, then they will be pretty much out of it. Bottom 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me not screw this up because I always screw this up.
Yep. Try not to,
Okay.
please.
Okay. There is a three-way tie
Amazing.
for one, two. Yep, three-way tie for 18th place. Guimarães B, Famalicão, and União da Madeira and FAF. No, not Guimarães B. Say
Wait, are
that.
you checking? Are you checking the games played or
Bottom
the
five.
points?
No, I'm
It's
doing
yeah.
the. I'm not games played. Not games played. This is points. We got a
Okay,
three-way
just making
tie.
sure. Just making sure.
Famalicão, União da Madeira, and FAF. Tied for 18th with 22 points. 19th place is Académico with 19. Leixões is 20th with 17 points. Grêmio 21st with 15. Olhanense is in last place with 13 points.
Finally,
They are in serious trouble. They
finally,
really
it's
are.
about time. Hate him.
Jeez. Tell us
Just
how you
don't.
really feel.
I just don't
Man,
like him. Just don't like him. It's like one of those teams where you're just like, why do you exist? I'd rather have like
that's not
Estrela da
nice.
Amadora.
I
I
really
just
hope
don't
that
like.
Vitor Oliveira is going to get Portimonense promoted, obviously. They're ahead of Santa Clara by 14 points. The only team that can knock them out of winning the Segunda Liga is obviously
Aves.
Aves. And Santa Clara is behind by 10 points, man. That's so tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. To lose points
Uh,
at home today, especially against Covilhã.
Covilhã won
So
against Braga.
I know. So
So
they obviously the morale is up. It's boosted, and they're
yeah,
in form right now. So, I
all right,
mean, I guess this next season, Vitor Oliveira, please come to Santa Clara next season.
do
Promote us,
that
please.
or don't. It's your decision. Whatever.
Yeah.
These guys kind of want a team from the Azores. I'm just kind of like but yeah, good for you guys if they get promoted. I guess
I hope
Benfica is
so.
gonna make a lot of shirt sales. So y'all know Azores is Benfica. It's like everything else in Portugal.
Oh
Had to point
please.
that
Yeah,
out.
whatever. I'm done. Let's move on with this.
Obviously, that was a joke. That was a joke for those who didn't get it.
Obviously.
I want to quickly shout out my bro Brian. Couldn't be here because he had to work because it's like
Pain in the ass
Christmas
today, but
season.
shout out to him.
Shout out to
Shout out to Brian.
Kevin's wife because why not? Because she has to pull it up with him whenever Porto loses. I mean that must suck, especially in May. He's probably very moody in May.
She always
Uh,
checks the scores though. Like when I'm watching the game, like I'll be watching it in the living room by myself, and she tells me sometimes like I check the scores, and then like I see like it's tied 0-0. Like with the Braga game, she's like I saw 0-0 again, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh no. And then when I went upstairs all happy, she's like, you're kidding me? They won? I was like, yeah, they scored right at the end. So she's like, good, thank God for that.
but yeah, I mean I ain't gonna get a moody Kevin this time.
Oh my God, another tie. I wouldn't be able to handle it. But yeah, shout out to your family, Peter, Sam, Brian. Hope you guys have a very good Christmas, a
Back
very
at
good
ya.
New Year. So
The best they can do right now, I mean, right? Because all the situations been going on.
mhm.
Um, obviously, I'm still sick. I wanna say that I'm sorry. Sometimes I just couldn't get to the mute button in time, so you guys heard me cough a little bit. But I'm way better than last week. Last week was a big challenge to come on and do it, but I wanted to do that podcast, so we did it. Next week might be me and Sam, might be me, Brian, Kevin, and Sam. We'll see. But there's probably like 100% probably going to be a podcast next week. There's games in like the 29th onwards, by the way, because the league isn't over. There's nothing over yet. There aren't games during the weekend. That's about it. We'll see you guys next week. If there's anything you guys want to say,
Just happy holidays to everyone. Happy New Year.
Yes, happy holidays and good night.
Merry Christmas.